Echo Canyon, where sound doesn't disappear, it turns around as if the gorge itself is answering back. Lisa Harmon had driven this route over 30 times. A meticulous woman, so punctual her colleagues used to joke, if Lisa says 3:15 a.m., she'll be there at 3:14. 12 years on the road, no accidents, never late. That's why what happened that night makes no sense. At 2:03 a.m., her cabin went dark, no ping, no alert. And in the final recorded log, just a whisper looping softly. Return to the source. It wasn't a command. It sounded more like a call one made just for her long ago. Lisa was heading south from Twin Falls, Idaho, en route to Salt Lake City. At 1:42 a.m., she messaged her boyfriend, Echo, stop in 40 mins. We'll call after. Her truck's GPS showed a perfect run, steady 55 MIP load, balanced cabin temp, a cozy 74F. But only 16 minutes later, the signal stopped. Entirely. The cabin was still locked from the inside. No warning, no error logs, no mechanical issues. It was as if that stretch of road drained the truck of anything living. And Lisa had stepped out, alone, into the canyon. No flashlight, no phone, and no trace of her after that. When the search crew arrived, the truck sat parked neatly on the shoulder. Cabin lights on, radio silent until a rescuer touched the door handle and it buzzed to life again. Just a faint static like something tuning in from far, far away. In the misty frost lay a set of small, clean boot prints. Steady, straight, no drag, no hesitation. Leading directly into the canyon. No trees, no ledges. Just a narrow throat between cliffs, silent enough to hear your own heartbeat slow. A space that didn't echo. It absorbed, and no one dared cross into it. Footage from the cabin's dash cam was synced at 2:07 a.m., but for 9 minutes the frame was frozen. Blank, no motion, no sound. Time had stalled. Still, everyone who reviewed that clip claimed the same thing. I swear someone was standing there, watching. One audio engineer ran a spectrum check on the last radio log. This frequency, it doesn't belong to any station we know. It's like it was being broadcast from inside the canyon, or deeper from wherever the echo ends and thought begins. Since that night, Echo Canyon was blacklisted by Lisa's company. No solo runs, no unscheduled stops. Drivers must pair up even in daylight. Still, some truckers say they've heard it, not through ears, but inside their minds. If you're ever alone on that stretch of I-84 and hear a whisper repeat, return to the source. Know this: you were not the one it was calling. Do not answer. Do not leave the cab. Because if you step into that canyon, the next set of footprints in the frost will be yours, and no one will come looking after you. Midnight murmurs. Whispers you should only hear when you have no reason left to pull over. And if one night you think someone's calling your name in the dark, wait a few seconds before you answer, because you might be the last one left who still hears it. Echo Canyon, where sound doesn't just echo, it listens. Tanner, a long-haul trucker who's driven this route for years, knew the area well. He had removed his radio antenna last winter, ever since it picked up something that sounded human. Tonight, though, it was back. He muttered, "Don't start again," but the air shifted too, still too quiet. He glanced into the rearview mirror. No cars behind him. Yet something cold slithered down his spine like eyes watching him. And then the radio turned on. There was no antenna, no static. Only a woman's voice, low and clear. Return to the source. Tanner slammed the brakes. The cabin dimmed. That voice wasn't coming from the speakers. It seemed to seep from the steel like it vibrated from the canyon walls themselves. Return to the source. It said again, a motionless monotone, like something repeating from a broken playback. On the dash screen, a strange string blinked: audio. Transmit 1. Return Tanner froze. He knew this system, knew it couldn't generate that, and he knew the antenna was gone, ripped out months ago. So where was the signal coming from? What was transmitting? Not a broadcast, not a voice, something older, deeper. Speaking in frequencies never meant for ears. Reaching for his access card, Tanner tried to reset the system, but recoiled. The card had melted at the edges. A sickly smell of burned plastic filled the cab. His fingers stung. He dropped the card. Then came the click, the rear door. As if someone opened it. Cold air rushed in, brushing the back of his neck. Tanner whispered, shaking, "I'm not going back." Silence, but footsteps followed, slow, deliberate. He turned quickly. Nothing. But the space behind him no longer felt empty. And then once again, the radio came to life. Return. To the source. The GPS went dark. No warnings. Just gone. Every signal blinked, then faded. Tanner opened his mouth, but the sound never came out. Everything was still. No breath. No time. The cab felt weightless, like reality itself had paused. In the final frame from the dashcam footage, Tanner's eyes were wide, mouth half open. Frozen. "I think it's in the back seat," he said. And then the screen locked. Static. The truck, the driver, and the road vanished. Only the canyon remained. Silent. Listening. When investigators arrived, they found the truck idling in neutral. No one inside. No signs of struggle. But the radio still on, and no one could turn it off. Audio techs tried isolating the signal, no frequency matched. Playback equipment ran hot. One mic trembled, though no sound was recorded. One technician murmured, "This isn't coming from a tower. It's a feedback loop from something that never stopped listening." And every time the phrase returned to the source, the interior grew colder, as if missing something or someone. Or, if you ever drive past Echo Canyon past midnight, listen closely. Not because you want to, but because you've been chosen. And if the radio turns on its own with no antenna, no station, just a voice saying, "Return to the source," don't answer. Don't search the dial. Because if your heart skips a beat, if your ears start to ring, you've already been marked. No one called you, but you still replied. And that was enough. Midnight Murmurs, where whispers don't use speakers, where every sound you've ever heard was just the first, and everything that follows is something you should never have named.